vacation of July 2017. It was myself and my three daughters are on our way out of town. We were having trouble along the way. Our car just stopped from overheating. It stopped about three times. So on the third time, um, that's when the accident occurred. I pulled over to the side of the road um, to let the car cool down. Everyone was okay. And as we waited, you know, kind of wondering of what's going to happen next or what to do next, the car was at a point where it was cooled down so we can take off again. And I checked my surroundings. Of course, I also checked to the back to make sure I am able to get back on the road. And as I did that, I did see a truck behind me, but the truck that was behind me had a good distance um, from me, meaning that the truck either had time to slow down or to turn to the next lane so that I can get on. As soon as I got on to the road, I hit maybe about 60 and I turned off my hazard lights, and that's it. That's the last thing that I remember as far as us trying to get back on the road because that's when we were hit from behind. Um, the impact was so strong that it just like threw us out into a field. That's where we landed. Um, the back of our car was bashed in really good. I mean, it almost turned the car into half its size. Myself and my two oldest daughters were were able to walk out of the car. Oh my gosh. As soon as that happened, of course, we're in complete shock. But I noticed, like I said, my two oldest daughters were out, and my youngest daughter, Diamond, was still in the car. When I looked in the car, she was just laying there. I didn't see any blood. I just figured she was just, knocked out. But from the impact. But people started coming to help us, and I tried to open the door on the passenger side, and I could not open the door because of the impact. And then I'm calling for Diamond, and she wouldn't answer. And as people came to help us, I remember someone telling me, "No, you can't touch her. You can't touch her." And me not saying it, but thinking it. But I'm like, that's my daughter. Like, she needs me. I need to see what's wrong with her. More people are coming. So they're trying to pull us away slowly and, kindly. And all I can hear is, just people asking, "Are you okay? Is everyone okay? Is everyone okay?" And everyone just trying to check us. There are some people who've seen Diamond in the car. Next, ambulance arrived, police arrived, and they were able to guide us to the ambulance. And of course, paramedics and stuff are running to Diamond's aid. And as we were in the ambulance, they're just kept reassuring us, they're checking on Diamond, they're checking on Diamond. I wanted to check on her myself, but I wasn't able to. So a paramedic walked over to me and told me, "We have to take your daughter in." And I said, "No, like, you can't take her. She's a minor. That's my daughter." And what, "Ma'am, you can't. You're not allowed on the plane. You have to be seen yourself." I said, "I don't want to be seen. I need to be with my daughter." And finally he just kind of like let it go, like, "Oh, I can't reason with her right now." But I guess he tried like 2 or 3 times, and that last try he says, "Ma'am, we got to take her. This is life or death here. We have to take her." And then it was like, okay. So they took her to the nearest hospital, to the nearest children's hospital. At the same time, we were taken to the nearest, emergency hospital. We were checked, and everything seemed to be fine there. Now, our next mission is to get to Diamond. Our car had just been, totaled. Now we don't have a way to get to Diamond. Uh, the nearest children's hospital that she was taken to was an hour away from us. My daughter called her boyfriend at the time, and let him know what had happened. By this time, it's about midnight, so it is late. Told him what happened, and he said, "Okay, I'll be right there." Now you're looking at a 2-hour drive. So we had to wait almost 2 hours for him to pick us up at the hospital and then take us to Diamond, which is another hour away. In between that time, I'm calling the hospital, and I remember the first few times is, we don't have anyone here by that name, because of course they did not know her name. Another call, it was, she's here, she's in the emergency room now. And then another time I had called back, it's like, the doctor's in surgery with her. As soon as he finishes, he will give you a call back. So I finally get to speak to I guess it was the neurosurgeon at the time. He explained to me there was bleeding, there was swelling, her skull could not be saved. After that, I said, okay, that's where he left me at. Like, she's they had to remove her skull. And I said, okay, because I couldn't take any more after that. So now we're on our way to the hospital. And when we get to the hospital parking lot, I let my family know, I'm going to call one more time because I don't want to lose it while I'm in there. And then I was told that Diamond made it out of surgery. She's in ICU. And I said, okay, well, at least I didn't hear those dreadful words of she didn't make it. So we get to ICU, I could not believe what I saw. Bandaged head, tubes in and out of everywhere. And then I had to go see Diamond, so I walked to her and I just started crying. The doctors are trying to explain to me what was going on, and I couldn't handle it. I stood there and I said, excuse me, and I had to throw up. I mean, it just made me sick to my stomach to hear and see what was going on with my daughter all at once. She was 9 years old at the time. I couldn't handle it. I don't even know if I was going through any physical pain, as far as, when we were hit from behind. It was just too much to handle at once. But after that, it was like it was vague to me, because it was just total shock to see my daughter laying there, and had to have tubes to help her breathe, had to have her skull removed so some swelling can go down. And Diamond was in a coma for 2 weeks. The doctors have to have an explanation for you. So the explanation was, We don't know if she's gonna make it. After 2 weeks, it's not gonna look good. Diamond made it out of her coma. Then they discussed to me about having a feeding tube placed and a trach to help her breathe. At the time, she was breathing on her own, but I was told that they wanted to place the trach to maintain her breathing. Then they explained to me that this could be the new Diamond. Another thing I was told that she would have to relearn everything, walking, talking, eating. And then of course, they didn't have answers for me as far as the outcome, but they did explain to me it is a brain injury, and like I said, her skull could the right side of her skull could not be saved. It had to be removed, of course, so the swelling can go down. After the trach and the G2 was placed, that's how Diamond was able to get her nutrition and maintain her breathing. After a while, I asked, or the doctors let me know that Diamond would have like I don't remember how he described it, but it would look like the right side of her skull would be sunken. And of course, how can a 9-year-old girl continue life like that? So I asked about and I'm putting in something to replace her skull. And they explained to me, that there is this something, certain material that could be used to replace her skull. But they had to wait for the swelling to go down. So now this is about 3 weeks after the accident where the plastic material was placed in place of her skull. After that, Diamond was transferred to San Antonio because that's where we live. From there, Diamond started her rehabilitation. My main concern at that time was the trach because I felt Diamond didn't need it. If I was told, and if they knew, and because of the fact that they knew Diamond was breathing on her own, why should she have a trach? I was thrown, the same thing. Well, we want to keep it on to maintain her breathing. And then I ask again, and then later on, oh, it's because, we need to make sure that she is okay. I was giving several excuses of why they would not remove the trach until finally one day it just popped off. I was shown how to replace the trach if it ever came off. At the time that it came off, I myself tried to put it back in and could not. I was not going to force that trach back on. Of course, they had to bring other medical staff in, and I mean, for whatever reason, no one was able to place the trach back. Um, After after a while, after a while, and this took maybe about an hour, the pulmonologist came in and said, "Oh, she looks good. She looks good." This was just a quick glance, and he said, we're gonna have to replace the trach again." And I said, "No, Diamond was doing fine all this time. She won't need the trach any longer." The same night, Diamond went through a sleep study. She did fine. So now we're in San Antonio Hospital, and we were there for a total of 5 months. 5 months so Diamond can have a good head start on her rehabilitation. It was really hard because this is something that changed our lives, and this is something that changed Diamond's life. You never know it can happen to you until it happens to you. So this was all a learning experience. And I feel like a big piece of Diamond's life was taken away. But instead of holding that in my mind, we push forward to get Diamond as much as she can get back. The brain injury has, taught us a lot about life, and it has shown Diamond what she can overcome. She's still here with us. She's healthy, and she tries really, really hard. And I always felt that Diamond would be self-conscious about herself because she had to go after a few more surgeries to have her shunt revised, and that included shaving the right side of her hair. But Diamond didn't seem bothered about it, and of course her hair grew back. Where we're at now is, still dealing with the brain injury for the rest of Diamond's life, and we're talking a shunt as well. Like that shunt is helping Diamond to continue with her daily life. All we could do is, take it day by day, and be there and support Diamond, and just make sure that she has the best quality life, and not let a brain injury stop her from what she can do and what she wants to do.